Now joining us in the studio is the immediate past Vice Chancellor of Fountain University and the consultant, Islamic Cultural Educational Scientific Organization, also the Chief Imam of Lagos State University, Professor Amidu Sanni. He will be talking to us about the just concluded fast Eid and everything. Eid Mubarak.
Thank you very much. Very right.
Now, before we went on the break, we were talking about love and respect in marriage, in relationship. What is the position of Islam on that?
Well, thank you very much. I think you ladies have been doing a very wonderful job.
Thank you, sir.
And we are all your fans. So, but when you have your first caller on your program, you make a shout out. You welcome them. When you have the first person appearing in your program, I don't know what we'll do. Maybe a ram.
Okay.
Yeah. Love and respect in relationship, and of course, even in the spirit of Ramadan itself.
Yes.
It's about love. It's about respect for even human behaviors and human feelings.
Yes.
But in relationship, I just want to refer to a very comprehensive, let me put that way, verse of the Quran, which is Quran chapter 20, verse 21. And I think those at home can actually look at that. And I'll just give you a translation. That among the signs of the Almighty is that He has created for you, amongst yourself, partners, so you can have recourse and tranquility with them, and has created between you love and affection. In this, there are in these signs for those who can think. So that encapsulates the entire concept of marriage, the entire concept of relationship, and of course, what you are supposed to gain when you engage in that kind of thing. And again, there's also the tradition of the prophets that says that whoever gets married, if a man gets married, if a woman gets married, such a person has actually completed 50% of his religion or her religion. So, and you should now, whatever remains thereafter is only 50%. So, in an exam, if you already have 50%, you can be sure you have already passed. So, and that is the basic thing. So, it is supposed to be an institution for demonstration of love, of respect, of affection, and of course, giving rights, and also procreating, so that you can have a bigger society that can continue the tradition. So that's the, the message, the basic information and philosophy about marriage in Islam.
Right. Can I have a question here?
Yes. So what does Islam say about respecting women?
Yes, it may interest you that if you go from Quran chapter 1 to 114, you will have a whole chapter dedicated to women only. The fourth chapter of Quran is called the chapter of women. And that's the only place we have there that we have women, a whole chapter in the Holy Book dedicated to them only. And there's none dedicated only to men. So just to let you know how Islam has been very, very particular about women or the female child. Then again, the common tradition of saying that if you educate a man, you educate a single person. If you educate a woman, you educate a nation.
Yeah,
it's actually borrowed from the Quran.
Really?
So it has become a popular saying. People never bother to know where does it come from. And again, you see, when it comes to a matter of inheritance, the Quran has also given full right to a woman, either to inherit from her husband or from her father. So a woman has two sources of inheritance, from the husband and from the parents.
But we don't really see that. It seems that is not what we see in our society.
Well, that's that's a cultural thing in this part of the world. But where Islamic rules have been observed and sort of applied, it's a rule. It's part of their own constitution. And of course, even in some Muslim homes here who believe that their property or whatever they leave behind should be administered in Islamic way, that has been the practice. So very good respect for women, and of course, and they have a special position in Islam. And the Prophet of Islam himself, and the best testimony that you can have is what the women say, the wives of the Prophet said about their husband, that he never lifted his hand against any of them, never. I never used abusive word against any of them. So if you see anybody doing anything to the contrary, such a person is not practicing the religion of Islam as brought by the Prophet. So that's just it.
Toby.
when we say such a person is not practicing, so my question is, are there rules, are there places that we can take such person to say, this man is not doing, or this person is not doing what, you know, Islam preaches?
Well, there are two ways to it. We are in the society which is a plural society, Muslim, Christian, non-religion, whatever. And now the operating constitution in Nigeria is not about religion.
Yes.
So you cannot take anybody to an Islamic law court if the law is being violated or not being respected. But again, even the Nigerian constitution itself, the law guarantees the right of women so that you can take to the secular court that if a woman is being abused or has the right being denied, whatever, but that has to be addressed by the local common law court, so to say. So it's guaranteed.
Let's take it to the lessons of Ramadan. You know, it has to do with, you know, the fear of God and, you know, unity. How do you advise? Because I believe there are some men that actually abuse their wives, but would still go into the fasting, you know, period like a holy person. Oh, this is time for me to get cleansed and, you know, get forgiven for my sins. And then after the fasting period, they come back again to do that. So do you think they are really taking the lessons of Ramadan and applying it to their daily lives?
Well, I don't want to feel threatened by the presence of women surrounding me. You have already been talking about men abusing.
Both ways.
Men abusing women.
Okay, let's balance it.
Yes.
Agreed now.
Yes.
Yes. Now, whether there is Ramadan or not, as I said, a woman is not supposed to be abused at all. So if a man is not treating the wife very well, such a person is not practicing the religion as it's supposed to be practiced. And of course, we have religious leaders, we have imams, to whom such things can be reported, who will first of all start by counseling. You see, counseling does a lot of repairs rather than harsh situation of sanctions. So that kind of thing can be taken. And again, you have to think, the woman we are talking about, is it the legally married person? Because if a woman is not legally married to you and you went to Ramadan with her, you have just wasted your time. Of course, if you have what you call the partner. I mean, there's nothing like partner in Islam. You are either married or you are not married. So if you are legally married to a woman, it should be nice to her all through, Ramadan or no Ramadan. It's a lifelong contract.
Okay. Now let's talk about Ramadan itself. It has come and gone, but the lessons are here with us. Let's look at the lessons, the importance of these lessons, especially, yes, it is over, but we need these lessons to still be with us as we even look at transitioning to a new government.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You see, Ramadan itself is one out of the 12 months of the year. And it's supposed to be a training ground. I mean, if you are able to do something 1, 2, 3, 4 for a whole month, it's expected to live with you for the next 11 months again. Now, the basic thing about Ramadan, you see, Ramadan fasting is not limited to Muslims. Fasting is not limited to Muslims only.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It has been there, and if you go to Quran chapter 2, verse 184, it said there that, look, fasting has been prescribed to you Muslims as it was prescribed to those before you. And there is a concluding statement at the end of that verse. Perchance you may be God conscious. So the object of fasting in the Islamic tradition is for God consciousness. And the thing is this, you have the opportunity to lock up your room, eat, drink, do whatever you like, and nobody will see you. But you say, no, I won't do that. You have the right to have legitimate affair with your wife or husband during the day, and you refuse to do it. No policeman to arrest you or to charge you to court. Why did you do that? Because you are sure that God is with you there. Even if you were to do it, he knows about it. So that prepares that, okay, if you are denied the opportunity of taking something that is legal and legitimate to you, so that is supposed to prepare for to take you away from things that are not even legal to you. So that's the first thing. Discipline, God consciousness, the feeling that God is present in all that you do. And again, if you go to the history of fasting itself, people that were known or introduced to before the coming of Islam, either you want to ward off an evil, you take to fasting. Remember the story of Goliath and David?
David.
David had to fast with his follower for some days so that they could confront Goliath, and so they were able to defeat him. The same thing with Moses, even Jesus in the Bible.
Yes.
Moses had to fast for 30 days and then 10 days before he was given the tablet, the law. So fasting has always been an instrument of attracting divine favors or warding off divine evils or any evil. But it has come to be an institution in Islam year in, year out, regardless of your condition. But of course, if you are sick or you are on a journey or whatever, or any other condition, but it is a compulsory thing that has formed part of the pillars of Islam that you do in all the year. So one, there is this spiritual advantage that you drive with you. And that is the feeling of God presence everywhere, every time, anyhow. Then again, there's also the health advantage. Many people don't know that. In fact, I want to draw your attention to a website that gives you all the health advantages of fasting from the medical point of view. And if you go to healthline.com, you can check it there. You will see the various, and I can just mention some of them to you. That one, it supports the blood sugar level. It allows you also to have the brain function more properly. Again, it helps the digestive system. In that some people are so used to it, taking maybe 4, apart from the regular 3 meals a day, snacks.
Yeah.
But you allow your system to rest for a while.
Yes.
At least. So you allow your system to rest for a while. I mean, it becomes so habituated it's going to recoup after a while, get stronger. And again, it also prevents a lot of diseases in that many of the bad or microscopic things that also feed on our blood, on our system, when they are also starved, they will die naturally.
Right.
Interesting.
And they will get out of the system. So it makes you healthier. So when they have nothing to feed on, they die.
I do intermittent fasting, and I know the benefits, that I gain from it.
Yes.
So I totally agree with you.
Yeah, it's also one of the ways to fasting weight loss. I know women.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why I do intermittent fasting. Beauty must be maintained.
So it doesn't have any side effect.
Yeah.
Has been confirmed. Again, there's also the issue of supporting the growth and your metabolism. There's what the scientists call the HGH, that is human growth hormone.
Okay.
So fasting also assists you in promoting this one. And in fact, just go to that way. I don't want to waste. So just go to that. You see several advantages of fasting that has been confirmed, even by by the scientists themselves. Blood level, blood sugar, reducing blood sugar, a lot of things around that. That's quite interesting to know that. Apart from it, that's health advantage.
Right.
Then one thing that we should not miss out is this. It's in the scriptures that Moses talked with God directly. God was talking to him on Mount Sinai.
Yes.
And he was also hearing God.
Yes.
And in the tradition of Islam, it was reported that Moses was told that, okay, at the end of time, there will be a community who will be able to move closer to God than Moses. And Moses was surprised. So how would that be? So, well, Moses, when I was talking to you, you were hearing me, there were 70,000 veils between you and myself.
Wow.
You can say, if you want to establish that, the sun, where the sun is, where the sun is several thousand miles away from us here, and we still feel it here to do whatever I want to do. And I said, well, when the time comes, there will be a community that will be closer to me in terms of conversation than you. And that veil, all those 70,000 veils will be removed.
Taken away.
Taken away. And Moses was surprised. I said, who would that be? They say it will be a community of a prophet that will come after you. When they fast, all the veils will be removed. So they can talk to me one-to-one.
Directly.
So that is one spiritual advantage that Muslims have been given, that, okay, when you fast, before you break your fasting, offer any prayer you want, request anything you want, and you can be sure
it is
going to be
answered.
direct access.
No
failure of network.
So I do like the perspective of saying that, there are more benefits to fasting, to this Ramadan period, than just, the spiritual angle, which means that irrespective of the WhatsApp group you're in, you would always find something to fast about. So losing weight, and if it's growth, hormonal, anything you want, you would always find it, right? And I also found out, sir, that this Ramadan period is a period to empathize with the less fortunate, such that you're able to put yourself in their shoes, saying that, okay, so the people that cannot eat or do not have the ability to feed properly, I can actually now begin to sense what they feel, right? Is it possible to expatiate on that a bit?
Yeah, let me tell you something. See, Ramadan is a leveler for everybody, whether you are rich, whether you are poor, wherever you are. So it gives you a platform to be able to experience what others are also going through. So if somebody doesn't have the means to eat or to clothe himself, has now gone through that process, you now know what it feels, what it means to go through that experience of hunger or denial or whatever. But again, more importantly, let me also tell you something. Fasting in Islam is not just about abstaining from food and drinking or sexual something alone.
Yes.
Now, if you go into Quran chapter 19, chapter 19, verse 21, it says that if you can abandon eating, drinking, or sexual intercourse, but if you fail to abstain from using your tongue or your limbs from bad behaviors or bad speeches, your fasting is gone.
Wow.
Yes, your fasting is a goner, asana.
Is that why you find out that when most Muslims fast, they try to,
withdraw.
from
Exactly.
the society?
Because giving off eating, drinking, and sexual alone without...
It's a lot.
It's a lot. But if you are able to do that, and you refuse to engage, or you still engage in loose talk or foul talk or bad behaviors, you have lost the benefit of that fasting.
Okay, let me actually
And that is
contribute
the
to what she just said now. She said when Muslims are fasting, they tend to withdraw. So yesterday, I was on my way to church. So they were celebrating Ramadan.
Okay, the end of Ramadan period.
It was barely the end of Ramadan, and you could see two Muslim men fighting, separating them from the road. And the driver of the bus was saying, now, wow, all these Muslim people, it's like they were all in a cage waiting for the time to break loose. So how do we balance discipline and actually impacting the teachings or the lessons of Ramadan in one's life?
Well, it's a very simple thing. That's a very good question. Well, laws are made to be obeyed. So whether there's Ramadan or not, in fact, there is even an express injunction in Islam that even if somebody provokes you during Ramadan and wants to take you out on a fight, you say, my brother, my sister, I'm fasting.
Even if they slap you,
No, don't get to that level first. If somebody provokes you to the point of calling you out for a fight, you say, I am fasting. Why do you have to proclaim that?
So what if the person now says,
Till after the
you are
fast.
fasting, and the person just keeps...
You want to fight?
Yes, by force.
You send him to the gym. The thing is this. Why you are telling somebody that you are fasting is to draw his attention that you are undergoing a spiritual rebirth, which disallows you from engaging in bestial or animalistic behavior. Because animals that fight, for whatever reason. So if the person is reasonable, that's okay, let me allow him just go. But you see somebody who has gone through a process of training, of discipline for over 30 days or 29 days, as the case may be, and no sooner he's gone out of that thing, he's reverted to his own, the old ways. It's just like, human beings are of various natures. You could have a criminal who has just been released from prison for stealing. And out of the prison, we see him going again to steal. Or even sometimes in those days when you have to have these Barbie shows, when armed robbers are being shot at the Barbie.
Yes.
You see, has some pickpockets, even at the scene. Something. So it shows the animal or the bestial character in human beings. So you don't have to engage in physical something, whether you are fasting or not. In fact, Islam does not allow any form of physical something. If you are oppressed, find a way to sort out the oppression in a legal way. So that's the thing. So they have not allowed Ramadan to go through them. They might have gone through the Ramadan, but they have not allowed the lessons.
So how do they get to this point of allowing this process go through them? and it becomes a character,
It's
a
a way
nature,
of life.
a way of life.
Is it fear?
No, it's a personal decision. It depends on individuals, what you want to make out of your life and out of your spiritual experience. Imagine, for example, now, a whole building to, let me give this TVC as an example. It takes a lot of weeks, perhaps weeks or months to get the building in place.
Absolutely.
But you don't pray for any bad thing to happen. If you have a structure out there, about 30-story building, if you employ a caterpillar or whatever in one day, it can destroy that structure. So that's the analogy. If you're able to build your spiritual training over a period of 29 months, and just within 1 hour, you decide to destroy it by choice, because it's something by choice that you do.
Yes.
So if you have imbibed the lesson of discipline, caring for others, and many of people don't know that even Ramadan even goes beyond just abandoning or abstaining from food and drink. If you had fasted in Ramadan in an illegal house or with a legal partner or with legal resources, and you say, okay, let me give a charity out of it, you're just wasting your time. So you're supposed to have entered the process with a clean heart, with clean resources, with clean so that will also impact your life thereafter. Can continue. So that is so you don't go into bad ways after the Ramadan, and that is means you are not allowed to go.
Let's quickly also bring the lessons to what we see in the country. We talk about the lesson of unity, patience. We know what the conversation has been. A lot of persons will say that after the election, Nigeria has never been as divided as it is now. We have this politics of identity. You are this, I am that religion, you are from this place, ethnicity, and all of that. How do we bring these lessons to bear now to unify us as a nation?
Nation building.
Well, I think a lot depends on our political leaders and religious leaders. Number one, the political leaders, I mean, I've been a fan of this, your program, for quite a while. You see Nima, you see Tokpe, you see Mariam, you see all of them here.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you.
YK and all of them.
Yeah.
So nobody talks about religion at all. They all share their views, their ideas.
Yes.
So it is the politicians that actually promote this for their personal purposes. And we follow them, hook, line, and sinker. We've been here now, Christian, Muslim here, and there.
Nobody cares.
Talks about that.
Yes.
Even in a normal Nigerian family, you have a Muslim, you have a Christian, you have non-religious, whatever. When Salah comes, celebrate together. When Christmas comes, you celebrate together.
Neighbors.
No, neighbors. So our value system will need to change. You probably will have seen a viral video, somebody praying that a child should be among those who will steal Nigerian money.
Yes.
What value is that one promoting?
Yes.
Praying for a
Moral decadence.
5-year-old, no, 5 days old child.
Yes.
That may God put him among those who will steal Nigerian money. And somebody who said that is still working freely without being arrested. I mean, so that is not religion. So that is a wrong way of promoting value. So we need to, our religious leader need to do something along that line, that let us know that we need to have good values system. Secondly, our political leader, we should not allow them. Because when the Boko Haram people or whatever strikes, they don't ask
care.
whether, in fact, so just to let you know that it's not about religion, it's about political agenda under the guise of ethnicity or under the guise of people abusing, misusing, and disusing religion and ethnic affiliations. That is just it.
So as we welcome...
Unfortunately, we have limited time. Except you can quickly ask the question.
Yeah, I was
in
just
2 seconds.
I was just going to ask him to give Nigerians a message of hope as
Yeah.
we transition into a new government.
Right.
Yes, I think we need to be very hopeful, and that is, hope is what keeps everybody alive.
Absolutely.
So if you're able to do that, and again, you see, Nigerians have always failed to take their leaders to account. After the elections, after the campaign, I will do this, I will build this bridge, I will give you children, I will give you don't, accountability is always missing. You don't get them to say, yes, you say we'll do this.
Yes.
So it should be a process, not an event.
All right. All right.
We have voted, we give them a job to do. They are supposed to serve us with our continuous monitoring them and calling them to order when they fail to do the right thing.
All right, we have to wrap things up here now. We must thank you, Professor Amidu Sanni, for your time
Thank you.
on the program.
Thank you.
It's been an interesting run thus far. Oluwatu Biloba, Vina, Damola, I'm sure that a lot of our viewers have known you now and will be looking forward to seeing you next week. This is where we draw the curtains on the program. Up next will be the beautiful game. So bye now and take care of yourself.
Bye.